Hello. So, I was on a little road trip today. I went to the York Barbell Outlet in York, Pennsylvania, and then I went to the Rep Fitness Outlet Center in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. I went to York to get some things for my home gym because I'm turning it into a York Barbell home gym. One, because I have OCD, and two, because they're they're a company that I like. Um, I had a York barbell when I was in high school. They're from Pennsylvania, like me. They were founded by a World War I vet, Bob Hoffman. Um, at one point, York, Pennsylvania was called Muscletown, USA, um, because York Barbell was just kind of like the center of the weightlifting and bodybuilding universe. So I love the history of it. I love that, like I said, they're native to PA, like me. So even though they're owned by a Canadian company now. But anyway, so I got some things for my gym. And I remember that Rep Fitness had a outlet center in PA too. So my son and he came along with me. We took a road trip to Rep Fitness. And it was weird. It was weird. It was strange being in both. Um, Now, to kind of put this in context, I came up in like I started going. Well, I started working out at home in the late '80s when I was in eighth grade, '89, and then I joined my first gym in '94. Um, so I kind of came up in the lifting world in the '90s, but all my inspirations were from the 1970s. So I was a woman at a time back then, and I'm definitely way out of time now. Um, for me, when I walked into the York Outlet store and I looked around, it felt like home. It felt like I had the same feelings that I did back in the late 80s, early 90s. When I look at the equipment I have here, when I looked at the equipment there, it it was equipment that was designed to be used. It was equipment that called to you and called you out, and it's like, what are you doing? Pick pick us up now and get working. And that's just what I feel when I look at it. That's what I feel, coming down here in my basement to work out, and I just see the gear here, and it just says, get over here, get your ass in gear, and let's get going. There ain't no effing around. I probably will drop an F bomb later, but right now I'm trying to be courteous. I felt like I was looking at real exercise and lifting equipment. When I went to the Rep Fitness outlet, I just felt like I was looking at giant erector sets. I just it did not appeal to me. I just looked at it like, what is this? Is this a jungle gym? You know, is this going to be a platform for something? Do you hang speakers from it? It just, I didn't feel like working out. I didn't feel like lifting. I didn't feel like using it. I just looked at it and was like, all right, this exists. And, you know, and I get it. I'm old. I'm 48. Going on 49. Obviously, I'm not going on 47 if I'm 48. But, and like I said, I was a generation earlier than my generation in my head. you know, because I was inspired by, you know, the lifters from the 70s: Lou Ferrigno, Franco Colombo, Frank Zane, Arnold Schwarzenegger. And if you're wondering why I'm listing all men, it's because women weightlifting, bodybuilding, powerlifting was not. It existed, but it was not popular by any stretch of the imagination. And honestly, I think the women bodybuilders and strength trainers are far better now than they were back then. To me, the golden age of the male physique was the 70s, and the golden age of the female physique is right now. I follow a lot of female bodybuilders and weightlifters and powerlifters on Instagram and Facebook, and they're amazing. I mean, just amazing. So, yeah, not probably my biggest inspiration back then was Sharon Brenu. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Um, but she was definitely from the '90s. Um, she was my biggest inspiration, as a woman bodybuilder. But so yeah, I know I'm old, so I have the old school mentality. I look at this new equipment, and to me it's overpriced, over-engineered, and needlessly complicated. I like just the simple gear. Where it's like, here's a heavy thing, pick it up, put it down, repeat until you can't do it anymore. I when I hear people talking about the strength cycle and range of not range I know what range of motion is, but strength curve, and this exercise is for this specific part of this specific muscle, like for the interior of the upper bicep head. Uh, just hyper, focus, hyper concentrated on like the most minuscule part of a muscle, and it's just like curl. Just do curls, or just do arm extensions. Just lift. So yeah, I don't mean to crap. Like I said in my one last video, it's your money. Do with it what you want. And I realize that that equipment is made for this generation. They were founded in 2012, I believe. Whereas York was founded in 1932. So I know the ethos is different, the approaches are different, the times are different, people are different. But no, for me, I just like keep it simple, keep it real. Don't overcomplicate anything. So. And that's about it. And except for one other thing, I'm really getting sick of gym snobs who, if you don't have like, what they consider the best equipment, or do like hyper focus exercises or anything like that, then they act like you're not even doing anything. Because we might know more than we did in the old days. We might have advanced and gotten research and all that, but those old methods still built bodies. Those old methods still built strength. And well, the golden age, everything there you need to put an asterisk beside, because almost everybody was on roids. But Silver Age, people like Steve Reeves, you ain't gonna tell me that man wasn't built. even the Bronze Age, you know, the women of the Bronze Age, like Volcana, I mean, amazing. So old gear, old equipment, all that stuff that you might say is outdated or no longer applicable, well, it worked. It did its job. So don't get too snobby about it. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. Bye.